For the past 6 years, I have been practicing high volume calisthenics. I started when I was 14 years old, practicing high volume push-ups, pull-ups, dips, and muscle-ups. And this is what built literally my entire physique. And yes, over the past, let's say year, I have been practicing more weightlifting and doing more isolation work. Yes, I have been doing that. But my foundation is basically fully built on weighted dips, bodyweight dips, weighted pull-ups, bodyweight pull-ups, and bodyweight push-ups. And I've done that for 6 years straight now, and I've never skipped one of those exercises in my routine ever. So today I'm going to be bringing you a 1,000 rep high volume style street workout upper body session in order to level up your endurance and also your strength. But what most people don't understand is that high volume type of calisthenics will not build you strength. This couldn't be further from the truth. The reason why I know that it also builds strength, maybe not in a bench press type of manner where you're going to increase your 1 rep max. Yeah, I agree. It's not going to increase your 1 rep max on bench. But what it is going to do is that it will definitely make you better at weighted calisthenics and make you better at weighted pull-ups. So let's get into this training. Now, this workout I've been doing for, I think, 4 years now. No, 4 years over exaggerated. I think I've been doing it for 2 years, and I've done it at least once a month. And the reason why I think this workout is so effective is because it covers all of my favorite training methods, basically. So first method that we're going to get into right now is a ladder style training. So what is ladder? A ladder style training is where you basically start from a certain type of number. Now we're doing 40 dips, and we're going to go all the way down to a certain type of number. Usually we do from 40 down to 1, or from 30 down to 1, 20 down to 1. But this time we did 40 down to 31, so that it's not 4 hours of just dips. We started with 40, we did it all unbroken, and the focus for today's workout is doing as much unbroken as we physically can. Now, of course, if you're gonna start this workout off for the first time, you're probably not gonna be able to do 40, 39, 38, 37 dips with 22 pounds fully unbroken every single time, unless you're like super advanced, right? But what you can do is go all the way out to failure until you cannot complete a rep no more, and then get back on the dip bars and complete the full set. But what I don't want you to do is split the numbers up to make it comfortable for you. What you want to do is keep it as hard as possible, which basically means try to do every single set unbroken. So that is part number 1 of this workout. 40 dips down to 31. So we're going to go 40, 39, 38, 37, all the way down to 31 with 22 pounds, aka 10 kg. Now, as you can see right here, I am not locking out. Now, what's the reason of this? The reason why I'm not locking out is because, first off, in the high rep world, right, in the high rep, high volume calisthenics world, we don't really lock out at all. We don't really, do perfect reps all of the time. You're gonna see my chin-ups and my pull-ups in a minute. They're not gonna be fully stretched out and fully focusing on the squeeze. It's not about that. We're not doing this workout to say, you know what, I want to build a bigger chest, so let me do this workout, even though it is going to build you a big ass chest. Because look at my shit. I've basically been doing high volume dips and push-ups for 6 years now, and that is what literally built my chest. And my chest is my best body part. Maybe some BBC genetics involved as well, but I'm just saying, it's going to build you muscle. Now, the thing is, as you can see right here, for example, I am not fully locking out. Most people think that this is a problem. But when it comes to like your moderate reps, I do agree. If you're doing, let's say, 8 reps and you're not locking out on all of them, you basically have done 0 reps. It doesn't make sense for such a low rep set to do no lockouts. It doesn't make sense. At least complete the reps. But if you're going to do sets of 50, do you expect every rep to be perfectly with a hard lockout? You're not going to do it. First off, it's going to hurt the fuck out of your elbows. I don't even suggest it. And second off, you're not going to be able to keep that up. It's just unrealistic. So if you're going to do 50 reps of push-ups, don't expect nobody to fully lock out their elbows super hard at the top, even though some people do it. But later down the line, they're going to hurt their elbows with that for sure. And I've done it myself before, where I was doing dips always fully locked out at the top part, and it was just hurting. Now, as you can see right here, I'm locking out more. But this is a very soft lockout. It's very soft, right? The lockout is very soft, which makes me able to basically go down immediately after I completed the rep again, right? If I fully all the time just basically snap my elbow every single set, every single rep, bro, it's not going to be feasible for a long time. So I do not suggest people doing that at all, actually. I am doing active rest. You have something called one shot and something called unbroken. Now, as you can see, I'm doing active rests here. Active rest basically still means that you're doing the set unbroken. So let's say you have 50 push-ups to do, or right here I have like what, 37 dips to do or something, 36. Let's say you have a set of 50 dips to do, and you're going to be doing 50 dips on the bar without basically stopping, and you're really just repping it out, and you haven't stopped a single time for the entire 50 dips. That is one shot. It's basically, bro, one shot and you complete the whole set, right? And yes, one shot is also unbroken, but unbroken is not always one shot. Unbroken basically means that you have done every single rep that you said you was going to do in one set without getting off the bar. But that doesn't mean that active rest is not a part of the workout. Like, you can still do that. So when you're doing, 47 dips like I'm doing right here, or 46, it is totally fine for you to actually lock out and just rest for a little bit if you stay on top of the bar, and then go ahead and do more reps to complete the reps fully. That's the difference between one shot and unbroken. So right now we're moving on to part 2 of the workout. And as I said, this is a 1,000 rep workout. So the first part of this workout, which was the 40 down to 31 dips, consists out of, I think, 354 dips in total, which is quite a lot, especially with 22 pounds. But now we're moving on to part number 2. Part number 2 is going to be 15 chin-ups and 30 push-ups unbroken for 10 total sets. Now again, if you cannot do this for 10 total sets, I'm not telling you that you can only do this routine if you can do my numbers and my sets. If you find this too difficult, let's say you cannot do 10 sets of it, just do 5 sets, just do 3 sets, or maybe lower the reps and then do 10 sets with it. You can, for example, do 10 chin-ups and then 20 push-ups for 10 sets. Or maybe you can do 15 chin-ups and 30 push-ups for 5 sets. You see what I'm saying? So you kind of level it out to your actual level. So we're doing the push-ups right here, and the push-ups are also, as you can see, not locked out. Again, if you're doing 30 push-ups a set, especially after doing 354 dips with 22 pounds, I don't expect nobody, and matter of fact, as I already said, I don't want nobody to fully lock out on their push-ups. What is a high volume push-up truly, especially when you do not lock out? What is that? It's actually a lengthened partial. So it's more effective anyways. And yes, most nerdies will probably say like, no, you have to lock out because then your triceps are going to be fully activated or whatever. I totally agree with that. Like, let's say you're targeting triceps. I do want you to get that full squeeze, right? But we're not trying to fucking bodybuild here, bro. Get that mindset out of your mind and just focus on what I'm trying to do here. We're trying to focus on getting our reps up, building our upper body with it, and actually getting endurance from it, right? So we're not going to be locking out fully. We're not going to be locking out all of the time on every single exercise. For some exercises, it's simply not as effective as you may think to lock out on every single rep, especially if you're doing 50 plus. So yes, for the push-ups, I do think it is more effective to just stop right before a lockout and then going down again. I do think it's way more effective for a person to do that with push-ups. With pull-ups, it's a little bit different. With pull-ups, for most people, I do want them to lock out on the bottom, or else it's just not gonna be, in my opinion, a full pull-up. I do not really like snap my elbows as soon as I'm down at a pull-up, but I only do not lock out on chin-ups because it's just scary for my biceps, bro. I feel like my biceps gonna snap. The chin-up is already pretty uncomfortable for me anyways, but I'm doing it because I want to grow my biceps a little more, and I just love feeling the tension of arm gain, so I just love that. But I don't really want you to fully lock out on chin-ups. But when it comes to pull-ups, I do really want you to, not really snap your elbows, but have like a soft lockout on the bottom, especially if you're doing low reps. But if you're doing high reps, still kind of try to do it, but make it a soft lockout and not like this elbow snapping lockout, which I absolutely hate. Then we have part number 3. Now, part number 3 of the workout is going to be 10 pull-ups times 10 with 22 pounds or 45 pounds. This time I did it with 45 pounds. You can't see the weight in the actual clip because I've only recorded one clip of it, I think, because I was just, my storage was just filling up fast as hell, so I couldn't really record most of the sets. And I superset the 10 pull-ups with 10 of these leg raises with 22 pounds. So I usually never train abs. Most of y'all been asking me like, yo, what do you do for your abs? Because my abs look very like chiseled and perfect. I never do anything for my abs. I never do anything. I'm just at a low enough body fat percentage to make sure that my abs are actually visible. And my abs are basically always been developed from all of the reps that I've been doing from my upper body, like muscle ups and pull-ups and dips and weighted calisthenics, squats as well. So I don't really have to isolate abs because, it might be a genetic strong point. I don't really know. Like when I was like 14 years old, before I actually started working out, I already had like these chiseled abs without me having to do anything for it. So maybe that's a genetic strong point, but whatever. So that's part number 3, 10 pull-ups weighted, and then 10 leg raises basically, or knee raises, 10 sets. Then the last part of the workout is going to be 5 sets of 20 reverse bar dips. Now, as you can see, I'm really going like low on these. I'm not locking out for shit. The reason why is because these dip bars are very low and my feet kept touching the ground. The reason why I can't fully go up is because I cannot straighten out my legs because they're gonna hit the ground. So I had to bend them, and if I wanted to go all the way up, I had to like straighten out my knees again, and it would take a long ass time. So I decided, yo, let me just pump these out in like a pump sort of manner or whatever. So that is the entire workout. So 5 sets of 20 of these bar dips to finish it off, and that is 1,000 reps. Now that concludes the workout of today. Again, if you haven't joined my free community yet, go ahead and do that right now. The link is in the top of the description, and you can just join right now. Join also the weekly calls where we talk not only calisthenics stuff, but we basically talk about anything on there. And we're going to be covering your weak points, your strong suits, everything that you basically just want to do in calisthenics. We're going to be covering it in the calls. So go ahead and join right now, and I'll see you inside very soon.